don't know if I'm crazy about this light. Might be too late to send back. Hello. Waiting on somebody to come on in. Let me move my little laptop thingy out the way. Oh, Lord. Hi, if you could give me a 1 in the chat so I know that you can hear me. We're just gonna deal with this light. We're just gonna deal with this light. This is what I get. Well, thank you, Pam, for letting me know you can hear me. This new light, I plugged it up in a different spot and now I can't get to the thing that to adjust it, but I guess this look okay. Get my juice ready. I get to drink out of a straw now. Oh, that tastes so good. All right, we'll wait and see if anybody else join us. And then we'll get started. I've remembered to bring my notes down here and go from there. Oh, always rushing. Story of my life. So I'll go ahead and get started. I know some people get notified, some people don't. Welcome everybody to Tell Me Something Good Thursdays here on Same OT. Thanks for checking me out, whether you will be joining us live or on the replay. I am scheduling that I will go live early in the day. So hopefully, I guess the notifications will go out so that you can hit that to notify you when I go live, and then you can come on in. So, you know, trying to learn all the ins and outs of YouTube every day. So hopefully that is helpful for some people. So let's go ahead and get started with wins. So I'll go first. One win that I have is this right here. Not the juice, but being able to use a straw. As many of you know, about 2 weeks ago, I had to have a tooth extracted, and you cannot drink out of a straw or smoke cigarettes, or they don't want you spitting forcefully, like using mouthwash and things of that nature. I don't smoke. I'm okay with not, using mouthwash for 2 weeks, but not using a straw has been a struggle. So this right here is giving me such happiness. And I haven't been able to juice. What's today? Thursday. I don't think I've had fresh juice since maybe Sunday. We are getting, excuse me, that's that ginger. We are getting our second bathroom remodeled, which is right next door to my office setup. And the way the kitchen is, it's kind of open. So I don't know. I just was like, let me kind of see how things gonna go dust wise, And so this morning I was like, okay, it's not as dusty as I thought. So I just rewashed my juicer. And before the people came to start working, I was able to make my juice. It's so good. So this is carrot, gala apples, ginger, and Ceylon cinnamon. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's so good. I miss it. Actually, next week I plan to start doing 2 juices a day, and then maybe just like one snack, and then probably dinner, because I find myself not really being hungry throughout the day, but I know that I need to eat something. So I might even put some collagen in my juice, but not when I batch make them, because I was able to make 3 of these today from what I had. So I would just put the collagen in there real time. So that's one of my wins. I can drink out of a straw now. So another win I had was yesterday, made 1 year anniversary of my mom having open heart surgery. And so me and my younger brother, he ain't that much. Well, he 11 years younger than me. um, Went and surprised her. She lives over in Indiana. We're here in Illinois. And so that was nice because she totally wasn't expecting it. And I thought me kind of asking her like, oh, when is this? When's this doctor appointment? And when do you go to therapy, physical therapy? And, when do this and that she would kind of catch on like, are they trying to sneak down here? So, and I thought my brother would slip up too, but he didn't. So we was able to go and visit her. And so that was nice because she was really, really surprised. I was really, really tired because it was a long day because I had to go get my brother. He lived in the city, drives a whole nine, but it was worth it. So we had a good time. And so that was definitely a win this week. Like I said, I'm back juicing. Those are probably my two biggest wins for the week so far. So not so great, it's definitely not a win. My CPA had got me and my husband so excited because she had initially said that our taxes, were finished and sent the what it was, and so we knew we was gonna owe federal, but it was low, like it was like almost 60% less than what we owed last year. So we was excited. We was like, oh, this ain't nothing. We gonna, we gladly give them this. So someone told me just make sure, like, let me just make sure that this is really what we owe. And sure enough, she went back and she had put that I had did like for the clinic like sent tax money in advance, which I hadn't because I still haven't really wrapped. He probably is. uh, Wrap my mind around that even if you're not an S corp, because my clinic is not for tax purposes, it's not an S corp, but it is probably something I should do for next year. You do Schedule C. And so like even if you had like a side hustle or you whatever, cooking food and selling plates, in out your kitchen, you can do a Schedule C. And so because even though my clinic is an LLC, you still have to put on your personal taxes. TW, hey. And so that's why we have to put everything together. And from a business perspective, this year, this year was my highest revenue year. April 27th will be the third year that I've had the clinic open. And also it was profitable, which is great from a businesswoman perspective. But when you're doing taxes, yeah, you probably wouldn't mind if it said that you had a loss. So, but but anyway, she had mistakenly put in a number that wasn't accurate, and yeah. So now I just have to go over everything with her tomorrow to make sure that it is what it is. But taxes suck. But hey, I look at it like this, taxes really suck if you owe and you don't have some type of resources to get it paid. It can really suck. So at least, we're in a position where we can at least, honor our tax debt. But so that's what I've been dealing with this week. But I've been making some progress, being productive. Today I spoke with another nurse practitioner who is into functional medicine, and that is something that I do want to learn more about and get into so that I can integrate that into the things that I offer at my clinic to help people. Because everybody don't want to take medication, but everybody does want their body to function better and get to the core root of why X, Y, and Z is happening. I'm sure a lot of people have heard that gut health is important. So I do have a measure of understanding about the role gut health play, but just from our discovery call and her webinar, she really is good. And I was like, okay, so I think I'm going to move forward with that. So I'll be adding something else to my plate, But that's all I got going on this week. I was looking forward to getting on here with you all. I know some people are looking for that content I said I was going to do, and I promise you it's coming, y'all. I am determined to get my life and schedule in order by the end of this month. Okay, TW said a win trying to limit the amount of news consumption on terrorists. Very toxic situation. That is true. It is true. And I did see today that they basically are like accusing him of almost like kind of like insider trader, like in that like in that aspect, because they're saying that when he was about to announce that he was going to put a pause for 90 days on the tariffs, that he was telling his inside people go and buy, because the stocks were low. And if that's the case, it's dirty. It's like, don't even get me started. It's like these people that are in charge just don't care at all. It's like a game to them. But I commend you, because I try to limit what I take in too. Because I do find myself watching some of the YouTube channels that are political in nature, but I try to limit it, because it will drive you crazy. So that is a good win. So I was based on depending on. Yeah. That's what I heard. But some people are saying, like, I guess he called some of his like friends and told them, like, I'm gonna announce that I'm gonna put a pause. So go in and buy now, because I'm gonna do this and you'll make money. And then I saw where he was bragging the next day, because I guess the market had rebounded a bit, saying how much money that some of those people in his inner circle made. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. You got federal workers out here without a job, without any real reason other than, people just deciding that, what you do is not important to the American people. It's just a sugar honey iced tea show. It truly is. So, kudos to you for making sure you only can, take so much in. TW said, I'm in retirement, so when people come after my money, things can get serious fast. I was able to retire at 53. That's good. My mom was able to retire at 51. She worked in, I guess, car manufacturing without putting all her business out there. She was an assembly line worker for 30 years, started when she was 21, and at 51, she was able to go. So yeah, that is true. All of us, are impacted, all of us. Because even with, cutting a lot of the, like health and human service, funds and things of that nature, that means people going to start bopping people over the head. They try to eat their families and stuff, It's a trickling down how they think is, no. I think they trying to do whatever Reagan thought, would happen. Like, oh, if we make these cuts and do these things for the ultra rich, it will trickle down to, other people. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. Yeah. I told my husband, don't even look. Don't even look. Like I definitely ain't looking. I have like I got 401ks, from jobs that I had in the past. But just personally, I just got the IRA, but I ain't looking. Mm-mm. Hey, how you doing? This winter. Yep. So what else is going on, guys? I had to push my book club back a week because things was crazy. The bathroom thing happened so fast. The guy who's doing our bathroom did our kitchen 3 years ago, and so he came, gave us an estimate. My husband was cool with it, and but then he was like, "I got a big project coming up in 3 weeks, so we need to do it now." It was just like, "Hey," but we always think about the outcome. Never sell low. Oh, I totally agree with that. I do know that. I have learned that amount of information when it comes to investment. But I don't know. I try to keep an optimistic mind about things and I always think about being a descendant of African slavery, and I always think about, like, if my ancestors survived that and Jim Crow and the civil rights movement and all those things, um, I should be able to get through whatever is thrown my way. Wait a minute. It's crazy that you said that, TW, because on my list, I was like, I'm going to want to see who all going to the memorial. I had to go I had to go look it up. So it's Sunday. A relative of mine, because I don't know who be watching my videos, so I don't want to put them out there like that. But a relative of mine knows another witness. Well, I don't think the person is actually baptized, but they was raised that way, and I guess they are probably an unbaptized publisher or something. And so this relative of mine was getting service, goes to this person for services. And my relative was just like, he was like, oh God, like just really going in about the memorial. I'm like, why are witnesses like that? I'm gonna it is my plan, if everything works out, be doing a video to release this weekend in time for the memorial. But it's like, why is the memorial such? I guess because it's really the only thing that they can uh, um, celebrate, right? Oh, that's good, TW. Yeah, it's like the only thing that they celebrate, but it leaves a lot of questions. It leaves a lot of questions. I don't want to give away too much of my content here on the live, but y'all look for that. Yeah, yeah, it's not very exciting. Basically, you got everybody kind of looking and waiting to see if somebody gonna partake, because for those who may see this in the replay, or those who are on here now, um, you know, the bread and the wine is supposed to symbolize Jesus' body and blood at the memorial, which is what Jehovah's Witnesses kind of what is it? I guess honor his last wishes or last supper wishes or whatever. They feel that only people who have a heavenly hope, which is like only 144,000 people, should be the ones partaking. Whereas in other churches, it's like, anybody who is saved, or even if you ain't saved. I think in some churches, if you just agree that I'm gonna take this, bread and wine is a symbol of, Jesus' sacrifice. But nope, not in the Jehovah's Witnesses. If you eat that, and I've heard stories where they say people who have partaken, like maybe a guest of somebody, then people are questioning and like, oh, well, they didn't know, it don't count, and it's crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's it's so interesting. I must say though, we didn't get an invitation, so I don't know if they. I know the last few years when I was active, like they were doing like the real big push and campaigns where you would go and put the invitation, like in the door, like you wasn't even necessarily ring the doorbell. If I remember correctly, it was more so like, if they was on the porch or something, you could talk to them and give them the invitation. But if not, you was just to like fold it and kind of slip it in like the screen door. But yeah, so it'll be very interesting to see what the numbers look like, because I know they always try to say a million trillion people attended the memorial, but many of us know that it's not because those people are interested in becoming Jehovah's Witnesses or anything like that. It's because they witness friends, relatives, or whatever, ask them to come, you know, and that's why they there. I have family who had came maybe once. I don't think none of my family went 2 times. Um, but yeah, they just like, all right, I'll come. Probably out of curiosity to be like, let me see what the inside of a Kingdom Hall look like. That's how my whole journey kind of started too. I was curious, like what goes on there, because I used to be like, Jehovah's Witnesses just you on your porch 1 minute, you go in the house, you come back, and then they just there, and it's like, whoa, where they come from? They just popped out of thin air. So so yeah, it's very, very interesting. Did you get any invitation, TW? We didn't at my house. But I think in the 4 years that we've been here, I think Witnesses only worked our block one time. And I think that was last fall. But you get some witnesses. TW said, I have a no soliciting sign on my door, helps to keep all types of people away from my house. But some witnesses say, well, we're not soliciting, and they still will come and knock or ring your doorbell. I know witnesses like that. Now, if it say no trespassing, then they won't. But a lot of them will say, well, I'm not soliciting, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. TW, what part, I believe you are in the States. What part of what state are you in? I'm here in Illinois, and the weather has not been great. A couple of weeks ago, we thought, oh, it's gonna be like a really, really nice early spring, but we had a really, really nice few days, like 70s, almost 80s. Okay, you're in the Midwest too, and now it's just kind of been cold and snowing a little bit here and there. I see some of my buddies in the Detroit area, they got a lot of snow. So we only kind of got flurries, but no heavy, heavy snow. But yeah, it's still cold. It's still cold. It sucks. I could deal with if it was like 50, but the sun was out. But when it's like 43 and cloudy, it's just like, oh, it's not very motivating to get yourself going and stuff like that. Yep. What else you got going on? Look like it's just me and you. I see people pop in and pop out. Some days hit, some days don't. But I still want to come on because I do enjoy going live, especially when we get a good conversation going. I'm gonna cook after this because we've been eating in the streets and it's just been too much on my stomach. What's the best thing? What you mean by that? Like according to their standards? That's a great question. That's a great question. Can you help me give me like an example or because I don't know if you mean according to their standards or what I might think. Oh, this juice is so good. When you get into juicing and you go some days without it, you can really tell. Oh, okay. Okay. So you saying when you were in, you continue with your education and not listen to the well, I would probably have to say um something similar because I was a teacher when I started studying with them and went back to school for nursing and I did get a lot of pushback. Okay. Yeah, critical thinking on steroids for sure. Um, yeah, so I was a teacher when I started studying and came in and then I'm so sorry, this ginger make me a little burpy sometimes. Sorry about that. And then I decided to become a teacher. I mean, become a nurse. Partly because I was tired of teaching. I never did intend on being a teacher forever. I always had an interest in nursing and medicine. So I got a lot of pushback. I had quite a few friends saying like, "Why are you doing this? You got a good job. You have a great schedule. You can eventually pioneer with this schedule and stuff like that." So I would say similar to you, I didn't listen to the people in the congregation, um, and I did. I got pushback about it. What else? Um, I kept a side hustle, so I know they like, you should pursue riches, but I was a single person and I was a homeowner. I had rental property. I sold fashion jewelry. And I'm like, I need to make money to take care of myself. Because even though y'all include the single sisters in the prayer at the end of the meeting, nobody's gonna come help me. Like nobody's gonna come save me. And I just was kind of raised that way that grown people are self-sufficient and can take care of themselves. So I just was doing I was doing me, you know. And yeah, that's I still was doing me even though I know people probably was talking, about me behind my back. Yeah, definitely a go getter. Yeah, sisters do all the work. Yeah, I got a lot of people telling me I should pioneer. I was single. I didn't have any kids. I wasn't looking to date anybody because I wasn't interested in none of those men. Um, so of course they want to push you into pioneer, and I'm just like, no, not interested. I could barely to be honest, I don't think I ever reached the hours for auxiliary partner when I would do it with a friend or something like that. And then I think one year they reduced it to 30 hours to auxiliary pioneer. And sometimes I used to be like, what, and I remember asking this at times like, what does you getting 30 hours in service, 50 hours in service, 70 hours in service. How does that translate to, like, you're a good Christian or whatever and things of that nature? And so, they'll be like, it's not so much, the time is like the sacrifice. Like, you're putting kingdom interest first and things of that nature. So, yeah, I never was interested in, it's just like I never was interested when I attended Catholic school. I didn't want to be a nun. I wasn't interested in that life. you know, like, I admire people that have that calling. God bless you. It just wasn't mine. Oh yeah, I didn't like it either. I never liked it. Anytime you stand at somebody's door and you know, you like, I hope they don't come to the door. Yeah. It's like initiation. It's like a game, right? It's like a game that, you see a movie and it's like, they putting the person up to something like, hey, you got to go in here and rob, this corner store, you got to do this or whatever, or, to get in the gang. That's just how it is. That's just how it was. I definitely never enjoyed door to door. I think the only reason I liked going on Bible studies because I didn't have to go door to door, and you used to could get the time. You could get the time. It's crazy. I used to be like, and then the whole time piece is used against you to determine if you are a spiritual person or not. You know, and who was it? I think Isaac Lord. I can't think of Isaac channel. Is it Free Your Mind? Train Your Mind. Oh Lord, forgive me, Isaac, if you see this. I'm so used to you saying your name versus the name of your channel. But he had talked about how a perspective I hadn't thought about, that basically how they was using like his time card, so to speak, and what the elders thought about him to determine if he was suitable for his wife to date. And I'm just like, it's like when you think about, like, that's crazy. That's why when they used to say a witness man is better than a witness man. No, the worst witness man is still better than the best worldly man. And I used to be like, y'all crazy. Y'all are absolutely crazy. Cause ain't no way. My husband would have been that scenario because it was witness men who obviously wanted to date and do, and things of that nature with me. But when I tell you they was, I was gonna say something. They wasn't up to par. Let me just say that. It was like, no. Let's see what you were saying. Going to a door uninvited. It's kind of rude. It is. Especially at 9 o'clock in the morning. Our report card equal our field service time. We are either a strong JW or weak, no in between. Exactly. Yeah. I think I had mentioned in my like waking up story how once I woke up and hearing other people's experience, especially people who used to be elders in ministerial service who had that kind of insight. I remember thinking to myself, like, oh, when I became a nurse, because that's kind of what I was led to believe, that once I became a nurse, my application to be on the what was it called, the RBC Regional Building Committee, would probably go through because they always need nurses for the first aid and all this stuff. Well, once I became a nurse, I'm like, okay, let's do it. They was lying to me like, oh, redo your application. We must have misplaced it. And I kept asking and asking. I want to say for a good year. And then I just stopped asking. And uh, I can't remember whose video, but looking at other people's video and things of that nature, I came to the conclusion I was a weak witness. So it didn't matter that I was a nurse and y'all needed people with that kind of skill set, just in case somebody got hurt on the scene, on the building scene. It was more so about that doggone time card. I was like, okay. So it's a lot of initiating when it comes to the witnesses and things of that nature. Like I was even thinking about that with the memorial. It's they all say we all won, but it's really not, right? Because you got pioneers and publishers. You got publishers and unbaptized publishers. You got studies, just like how, if you're studying, you're Mr. or Miss, whatever. But if you baptized, now your brother or sister, when they call on you. So it's a lot of us against them, kind of thing in my book, in my opinion. So let's see. Older sisters were trying to control which sister I should date. I bet they were. Hopefully this one is charged better. Hopefully this charged better. I'm gonna stay if not, then I'll just take out the mic. And I think my phone do pretty good. All right. Thanks for letting me know. It's green. I need to, when I get off, I need to like plug these up right away. And then I always don't think about it until it's 5 minutes to go live. But anyway, yeah, I bet you are glad. Yeah, because it would have been hard. There's a lot of people sitting in there because they love their spouse. Their spouse is deep in, and they know that if they just flat out be like, I'm done. They know. You hear about it all the time on YouTube. People telling you their story that they just couldn't do it no more, for even, just to kind of appease the spouse. And how, the elders and whoever, they will pressure that other spouse, especially if it's especially if it's a woman whose husband no longer believes, they will definitely pressure the woman to maybe get a divorce, Oh, what did I say? I can't even remember what I was saying now. Oh, maybe did you hear when I was talking about Isaac and his situation? Maybe that's what I was talking about. If that no, that wasn't it. Okay. Can't even remember. I wasn't interested in dating nobody at the Kingdom Hall. Nobody appealed to me. And yeah, nobody just appealed to me. And I wasn't buying the whole a JW man is better than a worldly man, as they would say. I was just like, I'm not buying that. It was a guy, I'll never forget. My dad had come to town and he went to the hall with me on a Sunday. We walk in and this guy who liked me or whatever, he come rushing up and, want to shake my dad's hand. And so I introduced him and said, this is my dad. He was like, oh, I was nervous or whatever. He's like, you got a young daddy. I said, no, I don't. Y'all basically the same age. My daddy 19 years older than me. So, in my head, I'm like, yeah, he not, young. But that dude trying to use mind control. Like, dude, you're basically the same age as my dad. Beat it. Like, beat it. So yeah, just wasn't my cup of tea. And I was okay with that. But like I had mentioned before, I think in one of the videos I uploaded, I can't remember. It was either 2013, 2014. I remember just having an epiphany and telling my mom, like, I can't imagine I meet somebody, they check all my boxes except for this Jehovah's Witness one. And I'm just supposed to be like, oh, well, not Jehovah's Witness, not going to, pursue this any further. Nah, wasn't gonna happen. What gonna happen? And it's just like, oh, yeah. You've been gone a while though, right, TW? Thing's still on. Wait for you to respond. Hopefully you can still hear me. It's green, so I think we good. Yeah, I thought I was gonna say 35 years. I thought you said that last week. Hold on, I think one of these dogs then snuck down here and they're not supposed to be down here. Get your butt upstairs. Get upstairs. Matthew, get upstairs. Matthew, Pepper, get upstairs. He down here. Get your butt upstairs. Go. He done snuck past the gate. I don't know. Go upstairs. Go. Close that door. Sorry. What? Sorry. My little dog. I'm thinking, is that, I hear his feet. And I'm like, is that from upstairs? I'm like, it's carpet upstairs. I shouldn't hear that on top of me. This joker then got past the doggy gate because, the workers got, they stuff up and I just don't want them to get into nothing. And my little dog is very what is it called? Velcro. He a Velcro dog. So he done snuck past the doggone gate to get down here. So, yeah, he was listening. Yeah, he is attached to me. He has declared I am the one. He want to be everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. But anyway, what we was talking about, yeah. You see it all the time. I hear it in people's stories when I talk to people, people upload stuff, and it really is sad. In the cases where people kind of can admit, I married, basically for the wrong reasons, so that they wouldn't get in trouble or something like that, they got married basically under the guise of just the JW thinking versus really being into the person, and things of that nature. I really feel for those people, the ones who felt like I married this person based on, love and, just all those things. And just, when one person wake up and the other one don't, Some people don't know how to maneuver that. Speaking of which, what's interesting, I didn't watch it, but Damon Wayans Sr. was interviewed on Club Shay Shay, and snippets about him growing up a Jehovah's Witness, but it sounds like he the only one who still practices, but I don't know if he's baptized. Um, what did you say? We were not born in JW, so we were always in touch with. Oh, absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So he's going kind of his clip about how great the Jehovah's Witness is and this and that, and it's so interesting because Marlon did a comedy special and he talked about that. It was the daddy who was a Jehovah's Witness. The mama was Baptist, and the mama was like a handful. But the dad had been in love with her since, they was like 14 and 16 or something like that, So they clearly was in love because they had all these kids and things of that nature. But I just thought how it was so interesting that the dad, became a Jehovah's Witness. The mom never did, and for the most part, opposed. Didn't want people coming to her door. Didn't want them people in her house. All these things. But he stayed with that woman all those years, and the mom ended up passing first, and I think the dad passed not even 2 years later because he just didn't know, how to live without her. So it's so interesting that when it's the man who are JW, they don't get the pressure to, divorce their wife if the wife is opposing. But when the shoe is on the other foot and the wife is the JW and the husband is, opposing, they encourage to leave or you got grounds for divorce. Oh, he ain't woke. Yeah, you could tell the way that he was talking. I was like, he don't know. He don't know none of the real truth about the truth. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched like snippets or whatever. And I was like, I'm almost positive he's not baptized because he still cussing and all that stuff. And then what's so crazy, he making it seem like, I guess he's like mentally in, or whatever. But then, like the stuff he was talking about in regards to why he ended up getting a divorce, because he was out here, cheating and sleeping with groupies and, all this stuff. So I don't know. It's just so backwards. So I know a lot of people had did some content about it. And like even when Serena Williams was on the Super Bowl, people were doing content about it. And I don't know. I definitely think, they do get a different standard. No. I don't even think the governing body live by what they put out there. I went past a Kingdom Hall yesterday, and I was surprised how many cars was out there. I was taking my brother home after going to my mom's. I was surprised because, they say, but I think that hall has always been a pretty active hall. So, yeah. Well, TW, thanks for getting on today. Seemed like it was, for the most part, just you and I. And, it's always a good time. I am going to drink the rest of my juice, go ahead and cook, and take my butt to bed and do it all over again. But I will be uploading content this week. Thanks. And, y'all keep rocking with me. I think last time I checked, I was at 692 Real Ones Tribe members, aka subscribers. But I feel like people who subscribe, you're a real one because you can tell that I'm a real one. I ain't trying to front. I am what I am. You know, it is what it is. So I really appreciate you all. I will be doing everything in my power to keep the content consistent and not giving up on that goal. And if all goes well, I'll be able to hit 1,000 subs at least by the end of June. Bye. My mom leaving, talking about Ma out. Bye, Ma. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all. Like I say all the time, you know, my YouTube community, I feel closer to you guys than I do the jokers on my Facebook page. So I will always put my YouTube community first in everything that I, you know, decide to share and do and create. But on that note, I'm gonna go make me some boneless, skinless chicken thighs and maybe a little rice. Hey, Billy, how you doing? I'm about to get off now, girl. But thanks for coming back and saying hey. And like some sauteed zucchini. I know it's gonna be. I'm eating kind of late. I just get tired. I get tired of like this week and part of last week. We just was like eating in the streets, and I just it just don't agree with me no more like that, you know. So I like to kind of cook from home. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that cooked up. Hopefully by 9 o'clock. I know that's super late to eat, but such is life. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? All right. Well, thanks, Billy, for coming by. Yeah, I'm about to get off so I can cook and get my life together and do it all over again tomorrow. I can't even talk. All right, y'all. Take care. Peace.